Is your account working for you? Is it simple, easy to use, interest-bearing? What can you do to make your money last longer or just grow in the bank?
Hello and welcome to the Connect podcast, a podcast by the Holdrege Area Chamber of Commerce. Welcome back to the Connect podcast, a podcast hosted by the Holdrege Area Chamber of Commerce. Today we're joined with Rebecca Anderson with Lincoln Federal Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Did I get that right?
Perfect.
Perfect. How are you today, Rebecca?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's been a great day. I had lunch at Dairy Queen. My son turned 5 today, so I stuffed my face way too full. So we're not going to have a snack for today's treat. We will just have these cool Holdrege Chamber branded water bottles and some water for after lunch. So
I love that. We'll start with that. Cheers.
There's nothing better than some water in the afternoon here. So Rebecca, before we get into some really deep questions, you didn't actually grow up here in Holdrege. So do you want to tell the listeners a little bit about your background and how you got to Holdrege?
Of course. So I grew up in the northwest suburbs of Chicago. That's about 45 minutes from downtown.
That's amazing.
And I came to Nebraska with the University of Nebraska-Lincoln for college. I originally studied technical theater in lighting design and stage management. And I graduated with a major in hospitality, restaurant, tours, and management with a minorship in leadership and communication. And then after college, I started working at a few hotels in Lincoln, worked in hospitality in Kearney, and as of last year, I've been at Lincoln Federal Savings Bank for a year now.
That's amazing. Yes. So your husband is from this area. Is that the reason you guys chose to move back here?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we met in 2021. And I came to visit Holdrege in October of that year, and I fell in love with Holdrege. It was peaceful, it was quiet, I could watch the Nebraska sunrises and sunsets, and you can say I fell in love with both Holdrege and my husband then.
Yeah, that's amazing. So coming to a place like Holdrege, what made you feel so connected so early on?
Definitely the people. Anytime I tell someone I'm from Chicago, their next question is, why did you choose Nebraska? And the honest answer is the people. They're so kind. Nebraska nice is very true. And they wanted me to be here. They were so happy to have me in Holdrege. And it just felt welcoming, all the time welcoming.
That's amazing. Besides the people, was there anything that surprised you about Holdrege moving here?
There were two major things. The first one was the lack of traffic, except for the occasional combine, which thank you to all of our farmers right now. You're planting right now, and I heard the sprayers are going, so thank you for that.
Heck yeah.
And then the volunteer firefighter siren, I have never heard that before, so I was home alone the first time I heard it. I called and was like, what's happening? Is there a tornado? It's not tornado season. And it was a little throwback to my grandfather. He was actually a firefighter chief for many decades in the Chicagoland area. So every time I hear it, I think of him.
That's really cool. Yeah, that moving to the community too, that threw me off. Especially when there's two different sirens. You'll hear there's a tornado siren and then there's actually another siren. So you came to this community and you put on a ton of hats. You joined the Holdrege Ambassadors. You're on the chamber board. You're the festival coordinator for the Iron Horse Festival. You attend New Life Church. You volunteer at the Tassel. You do a lot of things around here. What draws you to say yes to all of those things?
The main reason is that it makes me happy. I love being a part of all those things because I feel it shows a little part of me and who I am, how I grew up, and it just makes me happy. It makes me smile, and I'm able to connect with different parts of my life and all different parts of the community as well. At the Tassel, I get to connect with tons of performers traveling all over the place. With New Life Church, I get to connect with my faith, but also my theater background as well, and the light booth. So it's very fun. And the community events as well with Midsummer and Iron Horse, it relates me as another theatrical production. You start with an idea, you start with a project, and then you go to opening night. And then after opening night, after the show closes, you start over again.
Yeah, no, it's great. And people don't think about it a lot, the creativity that happens in the back end of all of those different festivals. So I think you're in a good spot for all of those.
Thank you.
One of the questions I wanted to ask, of all of those things you're involved in, which do you think has taught you the most?
Probably my current position right now as the branch supervisor for Lincoln Federal. It is a different type of customer service than I am used to. In the past, it's all been hospitality customer service. So like the phrases, the terminology, how I would talk to somebody about hospitality at the front desk of a hotel would be completely different than at the teller station at the bank.
Yeah.
And even though customer service is still there in both aspects, the phrases have changed in how I communicate to people.
As a young professional, what do you think makes Holdrege such a great place to live for young professionals?
I think the local loyalty. Everyone is so loyal to the things that they grew up with, but that's also ever changing. For myself, I've had to come into this community and find the places that mesh well with me. So a lot of my friends are young professionals in the community, and I am called to their professions. Ace Hardware, always go there all the time.
Yeah.
The beauty salon, I have local bakers that I always get my bread from. And if I need anything made, I go to, everything is in Holdrege. And it's so important to foster all of that and support each other and build that trust too.
I agree. One of the goals we have at the Chamber is to make our community more attractive to 18 to 35-year-olds. What do you think we're doing well, and what do you think could be improved on?
That's a great question. I think what you're doing well is the variety of events that are in the town. And also you're not just supporting yours, you're supporting everybody else's. A lot of the boutiques, a lot of the restaurants and the bars, they all have their own events, and I think anybody can find a place for themselves there. What I think the Chamber can work on more, this might sound old school, but an ad in the mail. From personal experiences, the last month I've spent way too much money at Ace Hardware and Hy-Vee strictly because of the 2 ads I've gotten in the mail. It's right in front of you, here's the deal, here's this, I could use that, and I just spend so much money there.
Yeah, and in a digital age, it's almost a pattern interrupt now. You don't get a ton of ads in the mail that you care about. And so you're constantly given ads on your phone or your Facebook. And so I think that's a unique perspective.
An ad in the mail is the olden days clickbait.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Rebecca, what advice would you give someone your age who just recently moved here and isn't sure how to get involved in the community?
That's hard to answer because I'm still finding that out, but after being here for 2 years, the most important advice I can say is get outside, ask the people, go to the grocery store and ask the person checking you out, hey, what do you do for fun here? I'm new to the community.
Yeah.
Start those small conversations and don't be afraid to be honest with yourself or the person you're talking to. Go to the Chamber, go to the events page, go to the YMCA, see if there's any classes that you could take. You might find someone who's interested with you. I know that there's a silent book club that I'm a silent lover of reader. So that's so many things that you can do. You just have to step outside.
Let's switch gears a little bit. You are the branch supervisor at Lincoln Federal. What is something you wish more people understood about the current interest rate environment?
That's a really good question. One thing that I wish everybody understood is that just like you, we don't have all the answers right away. The interest rates are changing. You never know what's going to happen from the next day to the next. However, what we try to do is have the tools and the information to provide you to help you understand what those numbers mean and what they can do for you as well. Also, in the springtime, a lot of people are looking at the houses that are coming up on the market. For myself, I don't know if it's the right time to purchase a home, but online I used our loan calculator, which is a great tool for me to find out if it's smart for my husband and I to start on the home purchasing process or if we should go ahead and continue renting. There's also a ton of other calculators that are available, and I sometimes just go on to have fun and see what I can find out from there.
What kind of questions or concerns do your customers currently have?
Yeah, so we're in graduation season right now.
Yes.
So I have everyone graduating from kindergarten to college and the master's and doctorate, everything. And they said, oh my gosh, what's a common gift you give everybody? Money or checks. So instead of putting them in the shoebox under your bed that you forget for 3 months, I highly suggest to everybody that you just go to your local bank, put it in a bank, that way it's safe and secure and you know what it is. So with that graduation coming around, we have many products that can help them, a youth savings and a student checking account as well. And that way it's one less thing off your mind as a parent. I know that you are. And you also can help that new relationship with your son or daughter or your nephew, niece or nephew too, in that baking relationship. And I do want to touch base on there too. going to a bank can be scary. I remember my first entry into a bank, it was white, it was sterile. I was really scared, but I really think every single bank here in town is completely different. It has a Nebraska nice. You are greeted by the door, you're greeted by the front desk.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to help you and understand. And I really think that's also important of not being scared of starting that new banking relationship.
It's so funny. Growing up, one of my grandparents used to always say, you don't take kids to the bank. And every time I go to the bank here in town, I've never been to a bank and not seen kids in the bank. It's very welcoming, it's friendly at every one of them. So I'm glad you touched on that. You're clearly invested in both your career and also the community. So what keeps you motivated?
Honestly, my ADHD brain. I always have to stay active and I always have to be doing something. You will rarely find me not doing something or having not something on my calendar. It's, for me, you always have to continue learning, because if you're not continuing learning or continuing growing, you're staying stagnant. And that's not beneficial for you or your career. I'm only 26. I have so much more to grow in my life and so many more things to learn, so many things to do.
Yeah.
And I can't stop. I also have to say, another person that keeps me motivated is my husband, because he reels me back into reality.
What is one thing that you're excited for? It can be personally or professionally for the year ahead.
Yeah, I'm excited for both. Personally, I am standing up in 3 weddings this year.
Oh my gosh.
I am so excited.
That's so much fun.
One of them is my brother. It's my little brother, and I'm just so excited to see him start this new chapter of his life with his wife, and it's really bittersweet.
Yeah.
So very excited for that. Professionally, I'm really excited for the community events this year.
Yes.
We have Midsummer Festival in June. We have Iron Horse Arts Festival and concert in August. As you said previously, I'm working behind the scenes with both.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited for the community to see those events, see everything we've been working on, and to see the friendly faces everywhere that I can connect with.
And I've tried to get some behind the scenes footage of these committee meetings, and I cannot get them, but there is so much happening behind the scenes, guys. We're meeting on a twice monthly basis for the Midsummer Festival. You guys are meeting just as much for the Iron Horse stuff. So I can imagine what your plate looks like currently. How can people connect with you or learn more about what you do at Lincoln Federal?
The easiest way is whenever you see me in the community, wherever, whatever I'm doing, just come and say hi. Sometimes I'll be grocery shopping, just come say hi. I would love to meet you. Or just go ahead and stop at Lincoln Federal Savings Bank on 4th Avenue. You can email, you can call, visit the website as well. And if I'm not at Lincoln Federal either, there's my team at Holdrege too. We have wonderful ladies that we all work together, we're knowledgeable, and we can help anybody. And I just don't know where I would be without them, truly.
That's amazing. One thing I like to end every episode with, and it can be life or it can be business, but what is one piece of advice you'd like to leave our audience with? Personally,
one that I've been working on for the last month and a half is plan to do nothing and stick to it. So every weekend I try to schedule 2 hours that say do nothing, but I mentally cannot plan to do laundry during those 2 hours or plan to do this or do that. You have to meet that 2 hours and say, okay, now I get to decide what I want to do. I do not plan it. It's hard for me because I like having everything planned to a T, but it's forcing me to really live in the moment and just decide, I have 2 hours. I can do this if I want or do this. Some professional advice I would say as a local banker is do an annual account checkup. Is your account working for you? Is it simple, easy to use, interest bearing? What can you do to make your money last longer or just grow in the bank?
Yeah.
And that's what we're here to help you with. Any of the local banks in town, we are more than happy and capable to help you. And also just shop local.
Yes.
Bank local.
That's great advice. That's great advice. Rebecca, thanks so much for meeting with me.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We will see you on the next episode of Connect.